Strippers of Reddit. What do you really think of the people that see you perform? Ex-stripper. The guys that came in and knew the deal were great. Tip the girl on stage, get a lap dance, be polite. The worst were the guys that thought they were smarter than the strippers or that they could somehow game us. Like, one guy I remember went on a whole rant about how smart he was because he could tell it was all fake and the girls weren't really attracted to the men. Yeah dude, you're a genius. Or when they think they're funny by degrading the women. It's not funny and you're the one that looks bad. Honestly, for the most part I didn't think about the guys much at all. I was on autopilot most of the time and didn't judge them any more than thinking who looks interested in a private dance or who is a douchebag I wanted to avoid. Throw away for obvious reasons. My 2 cents is that if someone wants a good time with a stripper, just be really respectful of boundaries and remember that they're working. I'm going through a bit of a rough time personally lately and was at a bachelor party recently. I'm not really a lap dance guy, but one seemed really nice and I've been needing a little closeness, so I threw caution to the wind and threw down a few hundred to spend some time in the VIP room. We chatted a bunch before she got started. I made sure to ask if everything was okay before proceeding to touch anything, and I said that I just wanted to pay ahead of time and enjoy the fantasy of feeling special and wanted. After my time was up we cuddled and talked for maybe another 30 minutes, she was legit very nice and even though I know she was just doing her job, she had a great personality and made me feel special. At the end of the day I think I was just very respectful, helped define and observed our boundaries, and I was clear with what I needed, some personal intimacy, even if it was just a fantasy. Maybe this all sounds sad and makes me a loser, but I got what I needed out of that visit. Not every customer there is just looking to grab boobs and grind on you, some are just sad men that need to feel wanted. When I was leaving she grabbed me for a hug before I went and told me her real name and her other job, fitness instructor. She invited me out to take some classes with her, though being clear that she didn't want anything non-platonic, which is fine by me. She was just a person that I met briefly once, but it was an encounter that I needed and it will probably stick with me for a long time. Generally depends on what kind of customer that person is really. The best kind is the dude who understands that it is all a game. They tip well, they are sociable and polite, may even be regulars with certain girls and are never a problem. The entire club staff loves guys like this. The ones that the dancers hate? The "I don't pay for dances" guy who thinks that line will somehow make him desirable for dancers. Captain Save a Ho. His trademark line goes something like "You are too beautiful / smart / amazing to be doing this, if you get with me you can leave this behind." The pimps that go around asking the girls if they want to make some real money are real pieces of shit as well. Then there was the ones that I really had a personal dislike for, the dudes who would try and wait in the parking lot at the end of the night because Cinnamon and I really had a connection, you know? She told me to wait for her. No she didn't buddy, if Cinnamon told you that, she did so knowing that I would be kicking everybody out of the parking lot before the dancers left for the evening. The strip club industry is a weird place. Source: longtime strip club bouncer. Ex-stripper here. Of course I encountered all different types, but I am here to mention one type in particular, my favorite. There were a lot of customers who were lonely, or didn't have anyone to talk to who would really listen to them. They figured out that they could come in and pay for company. I would sit at the table with one of my regulars for a few hours and just talk. I made a point of showing that I valued them as a person and was genuinely interested in their conversation. He knew that he was taking up my time, and every so often would hand me another bill. I didn't pity them, I respected them for figuring out a way to engage with other humans and satisfy their need for connection. You get your share of creeps, but mostly where I worked, a long time ago, a lot of young groups of guys just looking for a good time. Every once in a while you have someone who has too good of a time and gets rowdy and acts like an idiot. Granted, I only work 2-3 nights a week. People who dance full-time, especially during the day, have a whole different kind of crowd to deal with. But customers are generally all the same, just looking for something to distract them from life for a while. Feels like a lifetime ago that I danced. My husband and I go together now every once in a while to get a private dance for a while, and it's way more fun being on the other side. I loved the ones who were nervous. In the city where I worked, customers were allowed to touch us anywhere except our crotch, booty hole. This adorable early 20s guy was so excited, like, "Is it okay if I touch your butt? Can I kiss your butt?" He was such a gentle person, it was so cute. Depends on the person. I've had stalkers follow me home. Creeps who tried to get violent with me at work. People who pissed me off. I've also met some really wonderful people I'm fine with calling my friends. I just had a baby and invited 2 ex-customers to my baby shower in June. Was male stripper for a bit. My opinion, it's all types for all reasons. Passing judgment on folks generally just makes you less approachable. There are good folks who like gyrating naked people but are awkward socially and have lots of money. Creepy is still creepy. Considerate is still considerate. Only difference is I'm not wearing pants. Stripper for men or women or both? I'm really curious how it goes down for male strippers. Personally, I didn't have any dudes. Like I mentioned, only there for a short time, but I'd totally dance for dudes if they are good customers. Straight as they come, unfortunately, dudes who would come for dances would likely be very fun and generous. Gay guys are real nice. Ex-stripper here. Most of them were cool. We had one old guy named Comer Steve that would get dances from the new girls and whip his dick out and jizz in their hair. He always had $300 in his wallet that he would hand over before they made him leave. Occasionally a douchebag would come in, but they got handled pretty quickly. I once had a guy hold up a $5 bill and ask what he could get for that. I cheerfully snatched it out of his hand and told him that he could watch my ass as I walked away. It just depends on how they behave. Wanting to have a good time and be around nice, pretty girls and see some titties is perfectly normal to me. What makes me not like them is when they don't understand what I'm there for. Customers who understand that I'm providing a fantasy experience in exchange for money are the best. I don't mind if they want to flirt, talk dirty, or squeeze as long as they stay respectful, playful and are paying me accordingly. Customers who think they can do or say whatever they want to me without tipping or because they threw a couple ones at me are the ones I don't like. And the customers who think just because they're giving me money I no longer have boundaries. If you're not tipping, or only tipping a little, don't try to grab me when I walk by, don't make nasty comments to me, don't sit at the stage and stare all night and only tip $1. And even if you are spending money on me, there are things that I am and am not okay with you doing, which I will happily explain if you ask before you try it. And don't waste our time. We are there to make money, so if a dancer sits and starts talking to you and you're not planning to get a dance, tell her that. Just give her a couple dollars for the conversation and politely say you're not interested. Don't let us sit there trying to hustle you if you know you're broke. When customers are respectful and having fun, I have fun. When they're gross, rude or broke, I don't. About as much as I've thought about the people I interact with in any other service job. Sometimes guys seem lonely or delusional and that can be hard to deal with, but otherwise as long as you aren't smelly, prejudiced, pushy or wearing sweatpants you're good with me. Just one question, what's wrong with sweatpants? Just seems like an interesting pick. Sweatpants and basketball shorts don't really mask your action all that well. Ex-stripper, the guys who behaved were awesome, and my favorite customers. The guys who came in and thought that by paying me, I owed them, were the worst. I had customers who believed that because they paid me for a lap dance it meant they could touch me in the non-safe zones, or because someone tipped me, I would go to their hotel rooms. Just because I'm a dancer, doesn't mean I am a toy. I'm a human being with thoughts, emotions, and my own reasoning for being there. If you treat us well, we will do the same. Treat us like shit and we will tell all of the other girls, and you'll be avoided like the plague.